The name Far Cry has always been rather synonymous with an open world experience, and let me tell you right away that Far Cry 3, developed by Ubisoft Montreal, is no exception to this rule. In Far Cry 3 you play as the American Jason Brody, who, together with his girlfriend, brothers and a bunch of friends, are doing an excellent job at being naive, loudmouthed tourists on the Rook Islands. One lovely sunny day, they decided to go skydiving and had the absolute time of their lives up there in the sky with no fears and complete freedom. Now enter Vaas, the sadistic pirate leader who took away all that sense of freedom. At this point all hell breaks loose and you must bet everything in order to save your life and the lives of all your friends.
What the definition of insanity is.
Jason Brody is an excellent character from the beginning, with commitment issues, not much experience with really about anything, and obviously lacking a sense of direction in his life. His entire world is now upside down as he is thrown into this psychotic world with everything resting on him. Vaas, having not only a fantastic name, is also a fantastic adversary, having that lovely unbalanced mix of absolute cruelty, power, and being a complete nutcase. He makes a solid and lasting impact on you right from the beginning and is highly memorable throughout the entirety of the game. But Vaas is not the only person you'll run into. There's plenty of, shall we say, eccentric characters that you, Jason Brody, will have to deal with one way or the other, all wanting their own piece of the island. Far Cry 3 does a good job at making all the main characters feel memorable and important in their own respects, and you'll be taken on a ride of absolute insanity as you turn into more of a cold, heartless murderer guided by rituals and psychedelic drugs, with the purpose of shaping yourself into the perfect warrior, capable of rescuing your friends and the island. And luckily, unlike its predecessor, Far Cry 2, which boasted a wide range of different shades of brown, Far Cry 3 is bombarded with vivid and bright colors, making the entire island feel alive. As mentioned before, Far Cry 3 brings back the open world experience and puts the reins into your own hands. You'll have a wide range of weaponry and gadgets that you can play around with, and with plenty of human and animal enemies to kill. Want to go bear hunting with a shotgun? Go ahead! Or instead sneak up to an enemy, stab him in the shoulder, and throw his now lifeless corpse with a live grenade into his friends. In fact, hunting and crafting are one of the big aspects of Far Cry 3. You'll start out with rather poor equipment in terms of loot holding and must gather animal pelts in order to craft better, stronger, faster loot holding gear such as bags and wallets. Just that this isn't done very well. It's rather repetitive and from a story perspective makes little sense. Why would one particular type of pouch suddenly require special tiger fur or the skin of a rare blood Komodo dragon or some such? Not to mention that going around hunting the more tame creatures such as deer is neither enjoyable or challenging. In addition, there's an array of plant life that can be harvested for actual useful syringes, but these don't often require you to travel across the island to one particular location, making them much less of a grind than hunting. Of course, you can do all this with whatever weapon you may like, whether you prefer the clean kills with the bow, or instead are a bit of a pyromaniac is up to you. And the gunplay is definitely enjoyable, albeit rather simple and requiring little effort. But it is various and most missions allow you to use whatever weaponry you prefer. That being said, the main gripe I have with the gameplay is the complete lack of survival. You are a rather idiotic tourist who clearly has never done anything of the sort. At the beginning, Jason practically soils his pants at the first sight of having to fight an enemy. Yet pretty much right after that, he seems to have no issues with blowing up entire cars and their human drivers with automatic weaponry. After which you once more are completely disgusted by the thought of skinning an animal, and then storm into an outpost as freaking Rambo, guns blazing. It seems the developers chickened out with the thought of making the first half of the game more of a struggle. Because really that sense of dread and individual survival you get at the beginning is completely gone. And I am no gun expert, but I doubt an untrained tourist would be this good at firing an assault rifle as he is. Story-wise, there is a definite change and improvement of fighting and becoming the warrior, as they often remind you of. Yet gameplay-wise, you are completely unhindered from the get-go in fearlessly blowing up your enemies in creative ways. One of the aspects they do hinder you in are the skill trees. These are portrayed by the amount of tattoos that you have on your left arm and are based on 3 talent trees with each a different focus. However, they aren't mutually exclusive and are actually limited by story progression, just that they don't make a huge impact other than giving you some more amazing ways at rapidly killing your enemies or a few passives. Far Cry 3 is an excellent single-player experience and is one of the few games that you can classify as just having a ton of fun, as you roam around the islands blowing up whatever you please, stabbing whomever you like, and just enjoying the sights as you fly over in your kite or zipline across major landmarks. There is quite a lot to do, from racing challenges to taking over various outposts for easier travel. But there's also so-called Trials of the Rakyat, in which you compete with other players for a high score in time and score attacks with different ways of killing enemies, such as vehicle manslaughter challenges or something as simple as a pistol and a knife killing challenge. In general, there's a lot to do in this game, and it will keep you busy for quite some time as you explore the entire island. With the excellent main storyline, Far Cry 3 is a solid single-player game, but it also features various multiplayer modes, namely versus and cooperative play. They clearly did put some effort into these and aren't just tacked on, but do miss the mark on a number of occasions. The versus multiplayer has modes such as deathmatch, domination and the likes, which are highly comparable to your standard Call of Duty game and bring nothing new to the table in any way. Co-op features 4 entirely different characters, not that they are really interesting in any respects, as they are very much one-dimensional characters and lead up to 4 players through a series of missions, striking similarities with games such as Left 4 Dead. These missions are amusing to do, certainly, but are highly linear, and the AI here seems a bit off. Sadly, this is not the amazing free-roaming experience of the single player that could have made the co-op amazing. I'll gladly say it again, Far Cry 3 is an excellent single-player game with a great free-roaming experience, a lot to do, memorable characters, and a good and highly confusing storyline. Sadly, there is not much in the sense of survival going on, and sometimes it can become a bit of a grind. But the gameplay is a ton of fun. Although the co-op missions can be enjoyable, multiplayer is really not the reason you should be getting this. Instead, definitely get it for the amazing single player.